Hi, good morning. Got both dogs here today, I'm afraid, so it might be a little bit noisy. I'll try and keep them quiet. Got John out there looking after them. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Another Make Along Live. We've had some really busy makes with Kitty over the last few days. And I've been busy. I've been in the studios, so she's been covering a few of those, and I'm back here today, and I'll be here tomorrow as well doing some fringe jewellery. So we're going to be using Tiger Tail, but today we're doing memory wire. So I'll just wait for a few of you to join. I've got my croaky voice back again today, so I'm going to keep on taking a few sips of coffee, if that's all right with you. Keep me talking away. Okay, so today's free PDF is on the Totally Beads website. I know that a lot of you have been taking full advantage of these and getting them over the last 2 weeks. Kitty and I are going to talk today and get our plan together for next week as well. So don't forget, these are on the website daily for 24 hours only. So this one for the memory wire will be available until tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And then it will change over to the fringe jewellery that we're going to be making. So working with memory wire, a few really nice top tips. Some of you who have bought the USB will recognise this kit as one of the USB kits as well. So if you've got those sat in the cupboard and you're looking for a nice, reasonably quick make today, then obviously you've got that as well. Morning Jill, morning Kitty. Thank you all for joining us. It's a gorgeous day here. I had shows at the studios yesterday and then came back and had a lovely afternoon in the garden. John made a barbecue, so we had a really lovely day. So I'm feeling quite relaxed today, which is nice. Morning Jill, how are you today? I'm good, thank you, lovely. How are you doing? Morning Doris. Oh dear, not again. Yeah, my throat. Hope you get it back soon from North Wales. Thank you, Doris. Hope you've got lovely weather in Wales today as well. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I think it's just the aircon. When I go into the studios, it really dries me out. Morning, Karen. Morning Camille, thank you all for joining us. Right, so if you've got any questions, I'm going to be working with memory wire for the next half an hour or so. I did put a little list up. Morning Marie. I did put a little list up of materials that I'm going to be using. So just in case you want to go and raid the cupboards quickly, I'm using memory wire. So for those of you who maybe don't know or have loads of it in the cupboard and don't know what to do with it. Morning Julie, morning Sue. Morning David. So memory wire, it comes in lots of different sizes actually. You can get rings, you can get necklaces, we've got the bracelets, and it's called memory wire because it memorises its shape. It's going to keep this shape. Morning Judith. So I've got a bracelet size here. Now when we start working on it, I'm actually going to start working on bangles. So it will give you this lovely bangle. We've also got a clasp on. This is going to mean that you can make hundreds and hundreds of bracelets and bangles out of your memory wire. But if you want to use it in its true form, you can use it in the bracelets that will then wrap around your wrist. So it's then giving you multiple bangles all in one. So I know a lot of you like doing those, and we're going to do a slightly different take on it today. I'm going to be using divider bars as well. Now, if you've got these in your cupboards or in your kits, then great. Divider bars come in lots of different ways. So they are these little charms that have multiple holes through them. Morning Chef, morning Dee, hi Beverly. Hi Sarah, looking very glam as usual. Oh bless you, thank you. To be honest, I've not been up long. I've got a little sundress on because I'm going to go into the garden and do some gardening after this. Morning Julie, hope you're keeping safe. I am, thank you, and you too. I know I've been in the studios, but they are doing such a good job at keeping us socially distant. We don't really come across anybody. I go and sit in the car in between my shows, so I'm limiting that amount of people that I'm coming into contact with as well, but we're doing very well, thank you. Okay, so divider bars, you can see you can get multiple, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, multiple rows. So I've got some with 3 holes in here. Morning Anna. Some of them are decorative, you can get them as charms. Some of them are a little bit more simple, and we're going to use these to create a lovely little bangle, and you can see the divider bars are in between. So you can either go for the same size. This actually has 3 loops in it, but we're going to miss out the middle. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Natasha. Hi, Julie. Morning, Paula. So, or you can graduate through the sizes. So you can use smaller ones and then up into larger ones as well. Now, if you don't have divider bars, I'm going to quickly show you how you can make your own using eye pins and beads, okay? So that hopefully once we then get going, you'll have the right materials to get set up with. And don't forget the free PDF today. If you go onto the Totally Beads website, down on the left-hand side where all of the bead categories are, there is a whole section called free projects. Pop in there, pop the PDF into your basket, and when you check out, that order will go through to Simon and Kitty, and you'll get it emailed through to you. Okay, right. So I'm going to turn the camera down, and I'm going to show you how to make a divider bar. Again, it's really sunny, so I'm just going to scoot round so I can block the sun. Morning, Pat. Morning, Dawn. Hi, Angela. Okay, so making your own divider bar. I've got lots and lots of you here this morning. Lovely. Okay, to use your memory wire, you are going to need memory wire cutters, okay? Don't use your good pliers because the memory wire is a tempered steel, so it is super strong. And if you have softer cutters, once you put that cutter onto the memory wire, a lot of the time it's going to dent your cutters and then they're going to be rendered useless. Morning, Dorothy. So we're going to just trim the memory wire down. If you want to make your own divider bars, you're just going to need an eye pin and you're going to need some round nose pliers. And you can add a bead on, whatever bead it might be. You can either graduate your sizes so that you're graduating through, or you can add multiple beads so that you can create your own little feature in it as well. So let's do a crystal, a pearl, and then a crystal. So that's going to give me a really nice little divider bar that will sit in the middle. And then we're just going to turn a loop at the top, the same as the loop we have on the eye pin. So size them up, pop your eye pin through your pliers. You can see the depth of the plier that I've got to there. I'm then going to bend the pin. Now you do want the loops facing the same direction, but if you're not great at some finer details like that, I'll show you how you can move it afterwards. We're going to cut and leave about 1 centimetre. And then I'm using my thumb as a stopper on the end of my pin. I hope you can see okay. Do let me know if the sun's too much. I'm going to try and block it out so you can see. Thumb as a pin, as your stopper on the bottom of the pin. The pin will then sit on your finger and you want the wire poking up to the ceiling. I'm then going to take my pliers to the same point that we just measured up, and then just very small movements. If I turn it sideways, you'll see the loop forming. Very small movements. The smaller the movement, the more control you have over the pin. So just take it nice and slowly. And then once that's finished, just make sure that it's completely closed and central. So now you can see I've got my loop on either side. This will act as a divider bar when we start creating the bangle. Now to centralise your loops, because I want them facing the same direction, just take a pair of pliers and just hold those, and you can twist it so that your loops are then in the same direction. So then when we thread that onto the memory wire, I've got clear path both sides for the memory wire to go through, okay? Let me just check I'm not missing out on a few comments. Morning, Natalie from Colchester. Stay safe, and I've been watching you on Create and Craft. Oh, lovely. I hope you've enjoyed the shows. Morning, Sheila. Dorothy, I've never thought to make my own divider bars. Thanks, Sarah. You are more than welcome. Sheila, no bunny ears today. No, I had a show with Nigel yesterday, and he dressed me up like an Easter bunny. As he does, and keeps us entertained, which was lovely. I nearly forgot I had them on and came home. Okay, so we're going to take off a few of these beads and then we will get going. So, making your own divider bars, hopefully that's inspired you today. You can start making these lovely bangles. Memory wire, we're going to create a loop just the same as we did on an eye pin. Now the only difference is your memory wire, like I said, being a tempered steel, it is going to be that little bit stronger. So rather than doing little movements with your wrist, you might find that tricky with your memory wire. So actually what I do is I hold the wire, again making sure it's flush to the top. If you have any wire poking out of the top, then that is going to give you more of a shepherd's crook than an actual loop, and you want this to be as neat as possible. So with your memory wire, I tend to take my thumb. I'm still going to do this little wrist movement, but I do encourage the wire around the plier with my thumb. So again, I'll turn it sideways, so that you can see. So smaller movements, but I'm also dragging that wire down on the other side. And then I'm going to allow this to coil over. Whenever I'm using memory wire, I would always do a double coil. Now, hopefully you can see that. Maybe. Can't quite see the angle or whether it's clear for you, but that is now basically a double loop. Now with your memory wire, once you've looped it, it's going to sit down in the bottom. Now when you wear that, that's going to scratch your skin. I'm sure you've got bracelets that you've bought or even made before that are a little bit uncomfortable to wear with the memory wire. So you can just rectify that by popping your plier into the loop and slightly twisting it up. And you will see that that will completely change the angle, and that is then going to give you a much smoother surface. And also the double coil is going to mean that the end of it isn't going to be scratching your skin, so there's no contact in there. Carol, your dog is missing from his bed. Yeah, I've had to chuck them both out. I had the big dog in here earlier. I had Django. John and Django are back from work for this week. So yeah, he was in there, but he's just too noisy. I had to get rid of him. He's upstairs. Camille, forgot the memory wires in my stash. So miracle beads would be nice. Absolutely. Light bulb moment. Thanks, Sarah. You're more than welcome. Hi, Bernie, Angela. These tutorials won't be disappearing from Facebook, will they? No, they won't. So on the Totally Beads Facebook page, you can just go onto the page and scroll through all of our posts, and everything from the last 2 weeks is going to be there. The only thing that does disappear after that 24-hour are the PDFs. But obviously, we've done a little make-along each time. So hopefully you'll have your stash of materials, and then you can go back and look on those videos and still get, the instructions. Okay, so I'm going to start off adding on some of my beads. Now, when you're going to make a bangle, we're going to have multiple rows of our memory wire. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to start off with some of my smaller beads. And you want to make sure that you've got some sort of little pattern going as well, because that's going to make it really nice and symmetrical. Remember that we are doing another bangle. So I'm going to use the smaller beads, and I'm going to stick to, I might make one of the same ones that Kitty has done here for me actually. Chef, you and Kitty are brilliant teachers. If you two don't mind, I'm going to adopt you as my daughters. You are more than welcome. And yes, of course you can. Okay, so adding on your beads onto the memory wire. You can use the end of the memory wire just like a needle, pick them up from the mat, or as you've seen me do here. Doris says, sorry, I claimed them first. Oh, I'm loving all the mums we've got now then. Thank you. So you can see I've got 3 pearls, a crystal and 3 pearls. I'm going to cut another section of memory wire, and I'm going to replicate this. Now, my first one, I probably did a bit too long, but I wasn't paying attention to the length I was cutting. I was just too busy showing you the actual cutters. You can, of course, make sure that you've got too much wire, because you can of course trim this down once you've made your piece. Obviously once you've cut it, you can't add anything on, so it's better to have too much than too little. And again, I'm just going to replicate those loops that I had down at the beginning of my memory wire. Again, slightly off center, so pliers in. Just shift that up a little bit, and then when we start to make our bangle, these two are going to sit flush next to each other. So I'm going to repeat the pattern again. 3 pearls, and these are really nice if you have some really nice magnetic clasps. You could use some decorative clasps on these. I've just got lobster claw clasps to use today, but this is a great way of getting a bangle finish, so it can look very shop bought. And it's still a nice quick make. So memory wire doesn't have to always be a huge big row of beads and bangles. You can create lovely little decorative ones like these. Okay, so 3 pearls on both. I've gone to a crystal and then another 3 pearls. And then we're going to put these together onto the end with our memory wire. Hi, Natalie. Can I have you as my sister? Yes, of course you can. My poor sisters, I've got, my younger sisters are twins. It was their birthdays yesterday. Bless them. So it's a bit rubbish having birthdays in lockdown, isn't it? Sharon, my son Barry Short says he knows you. I do know Barry. I've known him for years. I always see him at the craft fair. Send him my love. He's absolutely wonderful. Hi, Alison. Yes, I am keeping well. Thank you so much. Oh, it's lovely hearing from you all today. We've got a lovely little group going. Okay, so I'm going to add my clasp onto the bottom here, just so you can start to see it come together. So I'm going to use some jump rings and I'm going to use my clasp. And this is going to hold our bangle together. Obviously, I'm going to use just a jump ring on one side. Now, sometimes putting on lobster claw clasp bracelets on your own can be a little bit tricky. So if you want to use a really oversized jump ring on one end of your bangle, then that's a really good way to get around it. It's going to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to bring these two ends together like so, and we'll just clamp those together with a jump ring. Like so. Once you've finished your bangle, on the other side, you will add on your jump ring and your clasp. Now, if you want to get a really nice, beautiful professional finish to these, just take your flat nose pliers and pinch those together at the very end. And that's going to take your loops. Let me get my beads all the way down. That's going to take your loops and it's just going to pinch them together and give you a lovely little finish. Now, I'm doing this in a bit of a haphazard way because I'm not making the whole bangle. I'm showing you various bits and pieces as we go, but I'm just hoping that that will help you. So you can see once we are finished, that's now going to give us a lovely end. Okay, so divider bars, let's start adding those on. I'm going to cut these two to the same length so that it's going to make it a bit easier for us. Hi, Marie. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, lovely. Send my love. Morning, Sophia. Thank you all for joining us. Okay, so divider bars, I'm going to use these smaller ones, and you just want to make sure that you're putting them on in the right direction each time. So if I were to thread it on underneath, of course, it's going to sit on the inside of the bangle. So you just want to make sure that you are threading them on top. Now, your sizing of your beads is going to be quite important when it comes to the divider bar, because if you're using a smaller or a larger set, you just want to make sure that the graduation of beads, the divider bar is going to give you enough space. So for example, with these ones, you might want to start off with a really small divider bar. If you're making your own, it might only be just one bead or a couple of seed beads. As you graduate through your larger beads and to get to a larger divider, you can see obviously it's going to give you more of a gap. If I were to use a smaller divider bar, these beads wouldn't sit in the right place. So just think about the sizing of them, but it's very, very simple to do, and you'll just repeat your patterns in this way. So we can probably graduate up through another couple of beads through here. Let's do one more little pattern. And then that's probably all you need to know for memory wire. Do any of you have any questions that you would like me to answer while we're here, whilst you've got me this morning? If you're using your memory wire and you're unsure of anything, then do let us know. Kitty and I will keep an eye on the comments throughout the day as well. We get lots of notifications. So if you do have any questions or you get to make this later on and you're stuck, then just give us a shout. And we can help you through. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be making some fringe jewellery. So I'm going to be using tiger tail wire, so something a little bit different for tomorrow. Tiger tail wire and a few extra uses. I'm sure we all have it in the cupboards. And it's just hopefully going to give you something extra to do with your days. I hope you are all coping okay. Especially when the sunny weather like this, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, of course, it's great to get out there. And hopefully these little makes are just bringing a little something to your day, keeping you a bit busy, a bit of interaction with everyone. If you are looking for a bit more inspiration as well and some interaction with lots of like-minded people, on the Totally Beads Facebook page, we have lots of groups. If you go to the pages, you can just slide along, you can find events, you can find posts, you can find groups. There's lots of different things in there. If you go onto the Totally Handmade group, then lots of people have been sharing their their pictures that they've made using these videos. Some people asking for inspiration. If you are lost or, you don't know certain materials, you're just looking for something share and to have a little conversation with people, then pop in there. You just have to fill in a couple of questions to join, and that's just so that we can find out what you're making and who you are and what you might need help with. It's a lovely page that just keeps on giving at the moment. I think we've got almost 1,000 people in there, so it's a great place to go. Okay, so you can see I've started to graduate through the design. I've added the divider bar again, and it's starting to give me a lovely little bangle. I'll do one more little section, and then, like I said, we will finish off in exactly the same way, your jump ring and your clasp on the end. Okay, let me have a look at some of these in case you have any questions. What else do we need? UN beads. That's it, Doris. That'll get you through Saturday. Paula, I have a question about the candle holder that Kitty made on Thursday. Let me just tap this so I can see the rest of your question. I was wondering if it could be made into a bracelet instead. Yes, actually, I'm sure you probably could. And if I've got my bag of samples here, hold on one sec, because I think I actually have... I had a load of samples out this morning. Give me 1 second. Might have left them in the other room, sorry. It had a candle in it. I'll get Kitty to send you... I don't know where that bag's gone. Must have left it in the kitchen. Yes, you can, because the weave that you are using, you could obviously create the band around the outside. What I'll do is get Kitty to put up a very similar looking bracelet so that you could actually then take that pattern and adapt it as well. It's in the USB 2 bag. I know, Kitty, but I don't know where I've put the bag. I think it's in the kitchen. Sorry, guys. I'll post a picture of it afterwards as well. Can you tell me the metal content of memory wire, as I have many allergies? To be honest, you will need to pop onto the website and have a look, because some of them can be made with an iron, some of them can be made with steel. You can actually get sterling silver memory wire as well. So if you are really allergic, then I would urge you to look into each specific brand that they're selling. 9 times out of 10, the websites will always have the content on there, but if you are super sensitive, I would suggest going for a sterling silver. The sterling silver memory wire always does tend to be a little bit softer, but there's so many different makes out there that you would need to look into each one. Oh, hi, morning, Barry. Just been chatting to your mum. Hi, Paula. Oh no, I've got a massive stash of beads, wire, etc., but no memory wire. Oh no, Annie. What we're probably going to do is look at doing some bundles for everybody for next week. Some of the mass make kits that we've had on throughout the last 2 weeks, we've done a few little bead offers and little stashes. I know loads of you bought the hairbands yesterday from Kitty's video. A lot of you bought the satin pearls from when you and I were doing... What were we doing? Hugs and kisses. So what we'll probably do is a little offer on the memory wire over the next couple of days as well. So hopefully that will keep you going. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Paula. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining. I don't think I've got any more questions to answer. If there are anything else... Oh, hang on. Joanne's got a lovely one here. I love these videos. I haven't done beaded jewellery for quite a long time, so these videos are inspiring me to get back into beads. Thank you so much, Joanne. That's exactly why Kitty and I have been doing them. We want to keep you company, give you a little bit of interaction while we're at home in these crazy strange times, and also just give you a little bit more knowledge. Obviously you can't come to workshops at the moment, so we're kind of bringing them to you. So tomorrow is going to be working with tiger tail. Get your tiger tail, get your crimp beads, get your clasps ready, and some flat nose pliers. That's all you're going to need for tomorrow's make along, and the PDF will be available on the website. Who else have we got? Natalie, love everything you do. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I can't even actually keep up with them here. Have a lovely Saturday. Thank you, Dorothy, and you. Hi, Sarah. I have the diamond tubing from Kitty, and I'm finding it difficult to put on the wire. Do you have any tips? Yes, I do, and it's a weird one, I'm afraid. You need to get a little bit of Vaseline or a bit of a lip balm, even a little bit of like a baby oil or a moisturiser. So the diamond tubing goes onto memory wire just like this, but because the diamond tubing has rubber inside, the two of them get really stuck, don't they? It can be really tricky. So just take a little bit of your memory wire, take a little bit of Vaseline. I think I ended up using like quite an oily hand cream, little bit of Vaseline on there, and start pushing that through, and that will go through perfectly. So I really hope that helps. Dawn, stay safe everyone, I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I hope you can get out in the sun, even just open the window, get a bit of fresh air, and send me pictures if you start making bangles. I think a few of you are inspired to make your own divider bars as well, so I hope that helps. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a gorgeous time this morning talking to you all. I will be with you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on the Totally Beads page again. We'll have a new PDF for you to have a look through. Go and join the groups on Facebook, and I will see you tomorrow. If you need anything or you've got any questions, please do get in touch. We are here for you. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.